Hey dear friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel, and also welcome to our full body yoga flow to help us feel our very best. No items are required today, so without further ado, let's get started. We begin our practice in extended child's pose. So bring your big toes together and then walk your knees towards the long edges of your mat or to a width that feels comfortable for you, and then sit back towards your heels. Now let's walk our hands towards the top edge of our mat, actively reaching. Breathe in here, and then as you breathe out, melt your heart space towards the earth, and then your forehead releases to the earth. Spread through your fingers, forearms remain lifted away from your mat, and your hands are actively reaching towards the top edge of the mat to feel a juicy stretch in the shoulders and the upper back body. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. As you breathe in, notice where the breath is moving you. And then breathe out. Breathe in. And this time when you breathe out through your mouth. Great. Lift your forehead away from the mat and then send your right arm underneath the bridge of the left. Release your right arm to the earth and then turn your head so that way you're looking to the left. So the right side of your face is resting on the mat. Your right palm is facing towards the sky, and your fingers are soft. Permission to close your eyes here. Breathing some loving breath cycles. Perhaps feeling a really great stretch in the right shoulder blade area. This is actually one of my go-to postures whenever I have a lot of tension in the upper back body. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to lift up, unravel, and then send the left arm underneath the right arm. And then release and relax onto the surface beneath you. So this posture is a combination of extended child's pose and thread the needle. As we are here, I invite you to check in with your face. Notice if you are clenching your teeth. Can you create some space in your mouth? Soften through the skin of your face. Breathe in here. And then on your breath out, unravel, reaching your left hand forward. And then we will all meet in extended child's pose for a breath cycle. All right, press into all that is touching the earth. Lift your head, look forward, and then rise on up, coming to all fours. Walk your wrists underneath your shoulders, and then allow your lower body to remain exactly where it is. On your next breath in, reach your tailbone towards the sky, drop your belly, look forward. And then breathe out to tuck your tailbone under, rounding through your back body, chin releasing towards your chest. Breathe in, coming back the way that you came, dropping the belly as you look forward. And then breathing on out to round through your spine, belly button hugging in. Breathe in to find your cow stretch. And then breathing out to journey into your cat stretch. And then breathing in to find a neutral spine. Great work. All right, so now we are going to do some freestyle or playful movement on our mat. After all, this is a feel-good practice. So some suggestions or options that you can try. You can play around with bumping your hips as well as your shoulders from side to side. So just imagining that you're moving like a snake. You could imagine that your torso has become a jump rope. So you're just drawing some circles with your torso while keeping a generous bend in your elbows. So that way we are not locking up in the joints. Another option is to draw some figure eights with your hips. And now for me, this option feels really great for when I have, stiff or sore hips. This option is really great for, waking up the mind as well, as you're really concentrating on making those eights with the hips. So you choose your adventure. It's a feel-good practice, just have some fun with it and just see what happens. All right, and then we eventually find stillness. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Your shins are parallel to one another. Tuck your toes under, and then walk your hands towards your knees. Fingertips or palms on the earth. And now lift your knees away from the ground. You can find a little rocking motion here, just stretching out through the soles of the feet, the toes. Before finding stillness, and then keeping your fingertips or your palms on the ground, let's lift our seat away from the earth so we meet in a standing forward fold. Lovely. Right here, you can grab opposite elbows and find a gentle sway from side to side, or you can just release your fingers towards the earth as you find a gentle sway. Release any tension in the neck, in your head or the upper back body. Just allow it to wash or spill off of the back body and onto the ground beneath you. Check in with your jaw. Notice if you're clenching your teeth. And now let's eventually explore stillness, releasing the fingertips to the earth. Now slide your hands to your shins, finding a halfway lift here as you send the crown of your head towards the top edge of your mat, and then you're actively reaching your bum towards the back of your room. Wonderful. Now fold on down. On your next breath in, we're going to slowly, as slow as you can go, roll up through your spine. We meet standing tall in mountain pose, feet still underneath the hips. Arms at your sides, palms facing forward, fingertips are soft. Tuck in your chin slightly. Rock that pelvis forward, creating beautiful alignment between the head, the heart, and the pelvis. Press into all four corners of your feet. Really feeling your feet connect with the ground beneath you. Feeling perhaps that engagement in the legs, especially the quads. Lift your heart and just check in with how you feel. Maybe even feeling a flush of energy. Maybe just checking in with your energy, right? So I know when I first started filming this, I was feeling a little tired or sluggish. Now I'm feeling a little bit more energized and ready to carry on with the day. So just check in. Wonderful. On your next breath in, bend at your knees, send the hands high into the sky, and then as you breathe out, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Plant your palms on the ground and really find a generous bend in your knees as you begin to walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Let's meet in a high plank pose. Wonderful. Actively reach your heels towards the back edge of your mat. Brace your core, really puffing on up here as you press away from your yoga mat. Option to stay here, or you can hug your right knee in towards your heart center. Really squeeze that right knee in towards center, and then come up onto the ball of your left foot. And then step the right toes back. Left knee comes in, squeeze that left knee in towards center, coming up onto the top of the right foot, the toesies, and then step it on back. Breathe in here. And then breathe out, sending the hips to the sky, finding your downward facing dog. Feel free to walk your hands towards the long edges of your mat. Same with your feet if you are looking for a little bit more space today. And option to pedal out the feet. So dropping one heel closer towards the earth at a time as you bend one knee in at a time. All right, let's find stillness. Bend your knees, breathe in through your nose, and then open mouth, exhale. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth, let it go. Great. Let's crisscross the feet towards the top edge of your mat. Now take your time, there's absolutely no rush. Just getting a little playtime in there. And we will meet in a standing forward fold. Bend your knees and then also walk your feet and your legs together. Wonderful. Release your belly to your thighs. And now send your hands forward as you slowly lift your heart space up, belly away from your thighs. We meet in chair pose. So our knees are still bent. We are placing more weight in the heels as well as the hips. Perhaps sinking a little bit lower as we lengthen down through the tailbone. You got this. Breathe in. And then breathe on out to rise on up. Great work. Walk your feet underneath your hips and just give them a little shake. The hips a little shake. Just notice how you feel. Notice how it feels to be alive and here today. Great. Now step your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. So we're still on the ball of that right foot, heel is lifted. And then we're sinking into that front leg. So the left knee is stacked over top of the ankle or slightly behind. There's a small bend in that back knee, so your right knee. Now guide your hips to face towards the top edge of your mat by peeling the left hip crease back. Wonderful. Bring your hands to heart in prayer position. Loop your shoulders, shoulder blades coming closer together. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, straighten through that front leg. Breathe in to stay here. Breathe out to bend into that front knee. Breathe in here. Breathe out to straighten through that leg. Breathe in here. Breathe out to bend into your front knee. One more on your own time. All right, let's all find a nice bend in that back knee and then step the right foot up to meet the left, giving the legs a little shake once again before stepping the left foot towards the back edge of your mat. Direct the hips to face towards the top edge. We are finding a beautiful bend in that front knee as well, or front leg, I should say. Hands come to heart. Tuck your chin in slightly. Hug the belly button in towards the spine. Let's breathe on in together. And then breathe on out, straightening through that front leg. Breathe in here. Breathe out to bend. Breathe in to stay here. And then breathe out to straighten. Breathe in. Breathe out to bend. And now one more on your own time. Great. Let's find a little bouncing action in that back leg as we step the left foot up to meet the right. Give the legs a little shake. You can also shake out the hands, arms if you wish. All right. On your next breath in, send both hands to the sky and then breathe on out to fold forward, leading with your heart. Breathe in to find a halfway lift, hands on your shins. And then breathe on out to fold. Plant your palms on the mat and then step your right foot back, followed by your left. We meet in a high plank. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, begin to shift forward, coming up onto your tiptoes, bend at your elbows as you slowly lower your belly to the ground. Great work. Once you are there, walk your legs and your feet together, really together, so you're kind of like zipping up like a zipper. Swim your hands back and behind you, interlace your fingers by your tailbone. Rock your pelvis forward, pressing pubic bone into the ground. Reach your knuckles towards the back edge of your mat. Loop your shoulders, and then lift your heart as you tuck in your chin slightly. Take note of all that is connected to the earth, pressing into the tops of your feet, as well as your pubic bone to keep you stable here. You got this. Breathe in, and then breathe on out to release. Whew. All right, let's place the hands out in front. We are going to stack the hands on top of one another, creating a little hand pillow, and then allow the elbows to go from left to right. Walk your feet so that way they're wider, maybe a little bit wider than hip distance. And then allow the heels to spill out, the toes turn in, and then release your forehead to your stacked hands. Begin to wiggle the hips from side to side. Taking this moment here to just reconnect with your breath. Perhaps just noticing your belly connecting with the ground as you breathe in. And then just notice what happens on the breath out. Amazing. Lift your head away from your hands, and now we are going to lie on our back. So just rolling on to the back. Okay. And then whenever you do arrive there, walk your feet in. So your feet are near your bum, knees pointing towards the sky. And then walk your feet towards the long edges of your mat. Allow the toes to turn out, the heels turn in. Place your arms and your hands at your sides. As you breathe in, lift your hips towards the sky. We are exploring a wider bridge today. Squeeze those glutes at the top. And then on your next exhale, slowly lower and release, massaging your spine. Breathe in, sending the hips towards the sky. Snuggle the shoulders underneath the back body. And maybe this time you lift your heels away from the earth. Why not? Creating a little bit more engagement in the legs, perhaps feeling more work being done in that booty. And then as you breathe out, slowly lower and release. This time, sending your hands to the sky, palms facing towards one another. Let's breathe on in as we lift the hips towards the sky. And then as you breathe out, slowly lower and release everything, including your hands, to your belly or to your sides with your palms facing up. And then allow your knees to fall in together. Tuck in your chin slightly. Lift up through your heart. Permission to close your eyes here. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. Taking a quiet moment here to reflect upon how you feel. Perhaps even considering the things that make you feel good, make you feel your very best. This could be a hobby. It could be going for a walk in nature. It could be writing in your gratitude journal. Some form of movement, or just maybe even spending time with your friends and your family. So I invite you to consider just one thing that makes you feel your very best. And I invite you to hold on to that thought or that image as you make your way off the mat shortly. Bring your palms together and then thumbs to your third eye, applying gentle pressure. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you so very much for choosing to be here. I hope that you enjoyed today's class, and I cannot wait to see you in the next class. Take good care, everyone. Namaste.